Well, that's an immediate concern for Mertens. She served 10 double faults against Madison Keys last time out. She knows how good she is going to have to serve here today against someone like Sabalenka.
Oh. 15-all.
It's going to be a similar matchup, as we mentioned, just like a Mertens faced against Madison Keys, where everything is going to be power striking from the very first ball. So the fact that she faced that for so long against Keys, that was just under a 3-hour match. So she got a lot of looks at some big strikes on the ball. So she's going to be ready for this match.
40-15.
Looking to try and make the quarterfinals at the US Open for a third time. Elise Mertens, 2019 and 2020. She did so back-to-back. Fourth round in 2021 as well, where she actually lost to Sabalenka that year. That's brilliant.
Juice.
Yeah, it's too good from Aryna Sabalenka, and it's not taken her long to have a look at a break point.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
That's a great consistent point here from Sabalenka, and what a defensive shot to be able to hit that slice and skid off the back of the line.
Wow, what a start from the number 2 seeds. Just beautiful, controlled aggression out here on Armstrong, and she breaks immediately.
First game.
There's Aryna's boyfriend, Georgios.
And that's what you have to do, that be willing to do that every single point against someone that hits so powerfully off the ground. But, I mean, obviously, in my opinion, Mertens, that first serve percentage has got to be really, really high up. You got to be able to rely on that first serve.
But you almost sometimes have to go into a match with a game plan that you're not necessarily even that comfortable with. You know, something that you wouldn't necessarily do on a weekly basis.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, that's something that Keys' coach kept saying against Mertens, her coach and fiance, of course, Bjorn Fantangelo, because he was very vocal during that match, and he just kept telling Madison, he's like, you got to do something differently. You got to get out of your comfort zone. And he was trying to get her to go for the slice. And you know, she was being a little bit stubborn in those moments and just kept trying to tee off of everything, and Mertens was loving it. Yeah, I think where Sabalenka is a little bit better, she handles the slice a little bit better, gets lower with the legs, and she's okay to hit that spin ball off the court, where Madison just wanted to hit flat and hard.
And of course, the serve is a major weapon, already up at 116 miles an hour, that one. Such a heartbreaking loss in the final, of course, 12 months ago for Sabalenka against Coco Gauff, taking that opening set. It's well played, good return.
Yeah, any off-pace serve. I think Mertens knows she has to be a little bit more risky and go after that return a little bit more. This is what she did well in her previous match. Any opportunity to take that ball out of the air. She's quick up to that ball. I think that's a great play for her. Very comfortable at the net.
So a chance to get that break straight back here.
She's got a little bit ahead of that, caught that ball so far out in front.
Juice. Advantage, Mertens.
Oh. 3 millimeters out from Sabalenka, and a second break point. Yeah, another big first serve to fend off the second break point.
Juice. Advantage, Sabalenka.
She hits her spot so well. It's not just always about power with Sabalenka. I mean, that one's 114 miles an hour. She's hit bigger than that, but that was right on the tee. Her accuracy is so good.
Wow. A couple of massive serves. And as Jill just said, absolutely pinpoint accurate as well. So 2 break points come and go.
Sabalenka leads by 2 games to love.
Speaking of the serve, there's a man in her box that we just caught a glimpse of there, Gavin McMillan, who of course has completely revolutionized the Aryna Sabalenka second serve. Remember a few years ago where she was, I mean, regularly double figures in terms of the double faults. Not him, he's the hitting partner, Andrei Vasilevsky. There's Jason Stacey, a fitness coach, but back right, just didn't see him there. He is there, I promise. But it's been remarkable, Jill, hasn't it? The turnaround in that second serve.
It's been but it took there he is there. It took a lot of hard work between the two. But, you know, Sabalenka had to be willing to take that on board, and I think that was a huge part of it. She was just willing to take and absorb any of that information to help her with the mechanics of her serve. And it's not going to happen overnight. And I think Sabalenka knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the players talk about the process so often, but sometimes it's a process of one stroke as well. And she took her time and really invested herself and time and effort to get that serve back on track. And now it's been outstanding.
Yeah.
40 love.
I think just to add to that point as well, sometimes it's not just the hard work on the court, it's also the hard work to get yourself to believe in it again as well, right? Because she knew everyone was talking about it. Sabalenka serve, she knew it was a big deal, and so to consciously be able to get over that hurdle, it was pretty impressive.
It's going to be interesting to see if Coco Gauff can do something similar to what Sabalenka has done. 19 double faults for Coco today.
Yeah, and that's something that has been a constant effort for Coco, is the serve and the forehand, something that, of course, is talked about, and she's aware of it. It's not like she's not trying to work on that, but it is just a constant process. Yeah, but 19 double faults, so that one, that'll sting, I think.
So that will just settle Elise Mertens down into this one on the scoreboard and make sure that it's still just that single break. There's her coach, Christopher Heyman. Sabalenka 2-1 up.
So difficult to continue to defend against the depth on Sabalenka's ground strokes.
I mean, when Aryna Sabalenka has only missed one serve, you know you're struggling. I mean, Mertens has done a pretty good job to actually have a look at 2 break points already with that first serve percentage. Oh, wow. What a start this has been for Aryna Sabalenka. She has just raced into a 3-1 lead here.
Sabalenka leads by 3-1, first set.
I mean, she was even off balance on that, but such good control down the line.
Remember, you can download the US Open app to follow your favorite players, track scores, watch match highlights, and much more. It's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store as well. So you're leaning more towards Sabalenka than Swiatek, Jill?
I think so.
For
I think with how...
what reason?
Part of it is probably the Cincinnati. How she played against Swiatek in Cincinnati. in that match. It was absolutely incredible. I mean, I know those courts are different. They're a lot faster than these courts, which would favor Sabalenka quite a bit, especially off the serve and that first strike off the ground. But these are probably medium fast from what I've heard from most of the players. But yeah, I think she's just... She's just been playing very, very sharp. And I also think, you know, Swiatek's been playing great as well, but I just get that sense when I'm listening to them speak in the press conferences and outside the court where Sabalenka's mindset is. I mean, that's something that she consistently is talking about. And I know, for me, that's what changed when she finally won that first Grand Slam title under her in Australia a couple of years ago. But even then, she's constantly working on it. And I think you have to. It's not just like all of a sudden you flip a switch, you know, things are going your way. I think it's almost the same as going out and practicing every day. You have to practice the mindset every day. And I think she's doing that, which, I don't know, I think that says a lot. Yeah, she's not settled with where she is. She always wants improvement. And that puts so much pressure. It
wasn't even a slow second serve.
No.
Really 100-mile-an-hour second serve there.
I almost wonder if the slower one would be better. I mean, it's a risk where you're just like popping it in the service box, but that off pace can sometimes be a good choice, but it has to be so well placed. That one was right in the strike zone of Sabalenka.
It's just absolutely relentless at the moment from Sabalenka.
It's just so deep. I mean, from the beginning of this match, I was mentioning how well Mertens can redirect pace, but if you keep having to try and do it off the depth of these shots over and over again, I mean, it's so challenging to be able to turn that point around and get yourself in an offensive position.
So a chance for the double break.
That one just enough into the body where Sabalenka couldn't get out of the way enough on that backhand.
First saw Aryna Sabalenka when she was 16 years of age. Did Anton Dubrov, saw her at a junior event, and he said he could not believe how hard she hit the ball. He did say it was either a winner or an unforced error at every point, so they kind of had to harness it slightly. Well, that's a really good hold from Mertens, saves the break point and is still very much in touch in this opening set, trailing by 3 games to 2. A chance to go up the double break in that last game did Aryna Sabalenka, but still in control here at 3-2. Last time she failed to reach at least a semi-final stage here at the US Open was all the way back in 2020 when she lost in the second round there to Victoria Azarenka. She's had 3 years in a row where she's had some really tough losses. That semi-final defeat in 2021 to Leylah Fernandez, lost 6-4 in the third there. semi-final in 2022 to Świątek. Remember, she won the opening set that year before losing 6-4 in the third, and then, as I've already mentioned, the final last year when she won the first set against Coco and lost 6-2 in the third. So she has good memories and bad memories.
Yeah, I think that was a tough one last year,
yeah.
actually, because she was pretty in command of that final. And then Coco, it really came down to Coco's quickness on the court, where she just started getting so many balls back in play. And then Sabalenka started to make unforced errors. And then I think it got into her head a little bit. I mean, not taking anything away from Coco, of course. That's too good. It's just relentless.
How did you approach a match, Jill, when you knew you were going to play against someone that could just take the racket out of your hand, completely overpower you?
I think you have to accept the fact that it's okay that they're going to hit a lot of winners. I mean, you just have to accept that. You have to take on that challenge, and you can't let that frustrate you. Because it can be so overwhelming. We're just like, oh my God, just let me take a breath.
Yeah.
So I think you have to go into that mentality like, okay, there's going to be some winners, but if you can rely on your defense, and then when you get that opportunity to have that offensive shot, you got to take it.
Okay.
And Mertens is capable of that. I think that's what she did against Keys. Is exactly what happened. She defended so well, got so many balls back in play. Madison's sprayed a couple, and then you just put that slight little doubt in their mind, like, can they keep this up? But I think overall, Sabalenka has, compared to Keys, I think she has a little bit better shot tolerance as far as being willing to understand when to maybe take some off and wait for the right moment.
Lovely.
Yeah, that shot has just become crucial for Aryna Sabalenka. She's spoken about it at length this year, about how she has really tried to incorporate that drop shot into her game. And when she has the power to push her opponent so far back behind the baseline, it is just an incredible shot to have.
That's exactly right. And you're not expecting it, because you're expecting her to hit and come over the ball most of the time, which she does. So if she can find the right moment to throw that in, it's a great tool to have. Yeah, she feels like she feels like she has to go for a big second serve.
Well, she had a break point in the last Elise Mertens service game, did Sabalenka. She wasn't able to take that, but 3 more coming up. And that one is long, and this time the number 2 seed does indeed have the double break advantage, and in a couple of moments' time she will serve for the opening set at 5-2. Not even half an hour played so far. So new balls here, serving for the opening set. Oh, it's dropped in.
Gosh.
What happened there?
I think everyone thought it was going out. Wow.
Just was so confident this was going long, made no attempt to get back for it.
I think because it was a miss hit as well.
Love 13.
Right, come on, Elise.
Ace number 5 still only missed 2 first serves in this whole set. Sabalenka, 20 of 22 she's made. Yeah, it's a beauty from Mertens.
Most aggressive point that she's played in this first set.
14.
Just connected so well on that return and then took advantage of it. One of the few short balls that she's gotten in a rally, and that's what she has to do, has to go after it when she has that moment. Great placement. Mertens was even guessing the right way, but the fact that Sabalenka was aware of Mertens' court position, did a good job of going for a more shorter part of the court just to be able to swing that ball a little wider.
Let's for service.
Just going the wrong way. Leaning to the right, looking for the down the tee serve, Mertens.
She's had chances, Mertens, in this set. 4 break points now have come and gone.
Great movement. So many players have that exceptional movement from side to side, but Sabalenka has really worked on that up and back, closed on that volley well, and then was able to get back for that overhead. Great snap of the wrist to bring that ball down into the court. Well, that was a mightily impressive opening set for the number 2 seed, Aryna Sabalenka. It's usually at this point, Jill, I ask you, what can Elise Mertens do differently in this set? But is it very much just the hope of praying that Sabalenka's level drops a little bit here? I mean, you can't hope that, right? I mean, that's why she's just got to keep digging deep. I do like the fact that she went into the body on that serve. I think she needs to utilize that serve just a little bit more, because Sabalenka's being so aggressive, and she's not that far off the baseline. She's looking to take that really early. I mean, look, she's right on top of the baseline. So, but it has to be placed so well into the body. I think also in the last game, she did
59.
try and be a lot more aggressive. And so she's trying different things. I still haven't seen her mixing it up that much, but it's hard to do against Sabalenka shots that are landing so deep in the court. A better deep second serve. Her first serve percentage is causing her some problems as well. It's just at 48% right now for the match.
Pitting.
Well, the serve was at 93 miles an hour. I'd hazard a guess that the return was probably quicker.
40-30.
Just came back so fast on the other side of the court. But look, just has to take one step. So the placement of the serve, I think, needs to be sharper from Mertens.
Oh, so accurate.
Juice.
She's just so quick up to that second ball as well. Does not hesitate.
Advantage. Sabalenka.
And I think so much of what makes her dangerous is she's always looking for those opportunities to step up when she can and take control. And that just makes it happen faster for Mertens.
I mean, her depth today has just been so good, Sabalenka. Yeah. Almost every other shot is landing within a couple of inches of the baseline. Oh, she's done well there.
Juice.
I like that pressure from Sabalenka, though, just not backing down. That was too good from Mertens. Great control. It's not an easy shot to do off of that type of ball that still is landing so deep and so powerful, just to get that soft pass by Sabalenka.
Advantage. Sabalenka.
Well, we knew that first serve percentage was going to have to be pretty high today for Elise Mertens, and unfortunately for her, it's below 50% in the match. 17 of 35 that she's made, putting a lot of pressure on that second serve, where she's only won 5 of 18 points so far.
Juice.
set the point up beautifully, did Sabalenka.
Mertens starting to get a few more of these shots back in play, especially on the backhand when she's been stretched. She's going to that slice and just getting more ball back. I do like the fact Sabalenka went forward to that volley. I actually think she struck it well, just went down on the volley too much.
Well, that's a massive hold and a big fist pump for Elise Mertens as she saves 2 break points there and is off and running in the second set. The Australian Open at the start of the year together.
Love 30.
Well, these little mini openings, you kind of feel like Elise Mertens simply has to take advantage of.
That's too good. It's still starting to get more returns in play.
Yeah.
15,
and that can add up. I mean, it's a good effort from Mertens. She's sliced a couple back in the court. That time anticipated well and cut that slice serve off much better.
Yeah, 10 of her 21 winners today coming off that forehand side.
That's great change up. It's been going to the backhand side with that second serve. Really good choice at that moment when you're under the gun just a little bit. 15-30, smart from Sabalenka.
Juice.
Well, it's only her first double fault today.
Very decisive on that. Well done. Sometimes you can get a little bit worried about where your opponent is going to guess. It can be distracting, but Sabalenka up to that ball very confidently.
Well, this time it's Sabalenka's turn to battle her way through a pretty tough service game there. Didn't have to save a break point, but was love 30 down there, remember. When you were playing, Jill, did you try and imitate the kind of stress that you consider during a match in practice?
You do try to, but you can't replicate it. It's one of the most difficult things. I mean, it's a completely different feeling when you're going out there playing a match. I mean, yes, you try and try and create different scenarios where you make yourself uncomfortable and put yourself in different situations where you try and feel that's just, I feel like you can't recreate it.
I was reading an article earlier from Anton Dubrov, Sabalenka's coach, how he tries to do it. Some interesting techniques. Says that he imitates a drunken fan and screams insults at her during a serving practice. But his big tactic is he makes her play for money during training. He said it's pretty intense. So he said sometimes he makes her and Andrei Vasilevsky, her hitting partner, play a set with a few $1,000s on the line.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Sometimes she has to hit a certain number of consecutive serves in a row or other shots through 2 cones. If she does, then Dubrov pays her $100. If she doesn't, the other way around. He reckons in the last 6 months he's $5 grand down.
I think you're proving my point of how difficult it can be to recreate that. Oh, that is so good. I think one of my favorite stories is Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, of course, American, and I think his coach one time had him practicing blindfolded to do the laps back and forth, and he had to figure out how to count to make sure he knew where the wall was to go back and forth. And apparently he was very frustrated by it, did not want to do it, but it's again one of those things that you try and make it as uncomfortable as possible. And sure enough, I think in one of his actual races, the goggles fell off his head.
Oh my God!
And
so
he couldn't see, and he actually ended up relying on the counting.
That's
and
amazing.
Then he won. Isn't it? I know, it's incredible. That's a great serve. That first serve percentage, Mertens is very well aware she needs to get that up right now. This set's just 44%, overall 50%, but it's very low. And she did get better at that in her previous match. So she knows she's got to hit her spots. That was the body serve we've been looking for.
40-30.
So good hold again from Elise Mertens. Feel just a little more competitive the early stage of this second set. And the Belgian leads by 2 games to 1. Early on in this second set, having been somewhat blown away really in the opener.
Just push that long. That's where I feel like she might have saw Mertens moving in the right direction. ahead. Interesting, but I mean, Sabalenka's first serve percentage is dropping. So Mertens is seeing some more second serves, but there's Sabalenka. Very good strike off that first ball to get Mertens on the run.
It was always going to be pretty tricky for her to continue serving as she did in that opening set, up above 80% first serves in. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's what she has to do, yeah.
15-13.
I don't necessarily feel like that's out of her comfort zone either. I mean, I think she's very capable of producing an aggressive return consistently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was big. Because you feel like Mertens is starting to get a little bit more on track. She's going more aggressive, more consistently. So that was big for Sabalenka.
Such a good second serve. Very back edge of the line.
It's smart to go bigger on that one too, just when maybe she felt Mertens was feeling more comfortable.
Yeah, it's a great point from Aryna Sabalenka, but as Jill said, you do just get the feeling that Elise Mertens is slightly playing her way into this match now.
2 games all, second set.
I think also just that response from Sabalenka too. I mean, I think she knows that was big to get through that service game. She's realizing that Mertens is starting to defend better, being a little bit more aggressive.
Well, remember, you can stay connected to the US Open on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and WhatsApp. You can join the conversation with us at #USOpen.
Love team.
That's the one she loves, that backhand down line.
15-all.
Very reliable shot for Mertens.
Yeah, found it again.
I think you have to cover that one. It was a tricky shot for Sabalenka to handle. It landed so much shorter in the court than she anticipated. So her only option, because she couldn't quite get up there, was to hit that slice. Just sat up for Mertens. It's just so big.
30 all.
I think the length of the ball, I mean, the way it flies through the air, it almost looks like it's going to go long,
Yeah.
but I'm actually a little surprised she changed it one down the line. She's been hitting that cross court so well.
Yeah, she has.
And that down the line goes into the strength of Mertens, that backhand side. So I'm surprised she chose that shot.
I've lost count how many returns Elise Mertens has almost just had to pick up off the toes.
Let's go.
Advantage. Mertens.
Again, hit a massive return. She got the ball that she wanted there.
That's go. Elise. Go, come on.
Just tried to cut it too fine, to make it too good. Sabalenka was already taking a step forward up to this ball. Stop moving through that volley.
Let's go.
It's not a bad second serve at all. I had to shift her body out the way there, Sabalenka. Still able to create the power to hit a clean backhand winner. Oh, wow. Gets the break in style, does Aryna Sabalenka. And she takes control of this match now, leading by a set and a break. 3-2 up in the second. 5 games of the second, but eventually Sabalenka was able to break at her third opportunity, serving here 3-2 in front. Oh yeah, it's a great return from Mertens.
Love team.
5th backhand winner of this one, just one off the forehand.
I got a good load on the back leg just to get power through that ball in the return. Great depth, just a couple inches inside the baseline.
Love that team.
I'd like to see Sabalenka hit some more of those second serves to the forehand side of Mertens.
She's lost the opening point on every single service game in this set, Sabalenka. The second time that she's been down love 30. That's pretty much what happened the last time she was down love 30.
15-13.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. I was kind of willing her forward there. The amount of incredible forehand she hit. What do I know?
No, it's true. When you see, I mean, Mertens 3 times in a row went for that slice. But when you see her all the way back in that defensive position, a lot of times you want the player to come forward, take that ball to the air. And Sabalenka is very good at that swing volley. But she handled that low slice exceptionally well. Really good aggressive return from Mertens. She was all over that out wide serve.
Yeah, Jill's just pointed out to me, I mean, Sabalenka's first serve percentage has fallen off a bit of a cliff here. It was up above 80%, remember, in that first serve. In that first set, excuse me, down at just 37% in the second. Just made 7 of 19. Yeah, just a little short. And Sabalenka certainly doesn't need a second invitation to pounce on a ball like that.
That is excellent from Sabalenka, because you just get this sense the more balls that come back into play, it just starts to feel like, is she going to try and go harder and harder to get that ball back? But she really trusted herself throughout that rally. It's a great job.
Yeah, her rally tolerance has improved so much, hasn't it, over the years, just knowing what ball to wait for, what ball to really pull the trigger on. does find a first serve, first ace in this set.
Juice.
It's interesting, the one that she had the more time on was the one she guided a little bit more.
Let's first service.
I mean, that is just such a good second serve.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
96-mile-an-hour second serve, but great spin on it as well, good accuracy just to get Mertens off the court.
Yeah, brilliant back in behind Elise Mertens, who is knocking on the door, but at the moment Aryna Sabalenka keeps just slamming it shut, and she's 2 games away from the quarterfinals.
Second set.
Yeah, if you would just come over to this court and see this score, 6-2, 4-2, you'd think it'd almost feel a little straightforward, but it's been a battle in this second set. Overall in this match, Mertens actually had 5 break point chances on the Sabalenka serve and hasn't been able to convert one of those. But there's been a few games now over the 5-6 minute mark.
Let's first service. Let's second service.
Yeah, 3 times she's played the drop shot today, 3 times she's won the point, Sabalenka.
Love the team.
I feel like it's working well for her too because it's not a lot. She's not using it a lot.
Yeah.
It's after so many points where she has gone really big off the ground. Just being smart about when to use the drop shot. Great serve to start off that point.
I saw in the last game, Sabalenka, a couple of really good second serves. Spoke earlier about the improvement on that second serve. I just quickly had a look at the numbers, Jill, just to put it into context. This year, she served 154 double faults, which sounds a lot.
It does sound like a lot, yeah. But over the course of this year.
Yeah, in the whole year. In 2022, so 2 years ago, she hit 428.
Wow.
She hit 150
in the whole year.
In the whole year.
Yep.
But she hit 150 more than anyone else. So second on the list was Alexandrova. So just kind of puts into context just how much that second serve has improved over the last couple of years.
And like we mentioned, it started with working on a different technique and how much she's put in that hard work, but it had, I mean, you have to have that deep belief in it too, right? So a lot of it is, you know, mentally, when you go out and you're under that pressure with that second serve, to trust that process, to trust yourself in that moment. Yeah, she's good at that one. Very good at being able to control that low slice. It wasn't a bad approach shot from Sabalenka. Maybe could have had a little more depth to it. But Mertens is so good at being able to dip this ball cross court. That's one of her favorite shots when her opponents come to the net.
How she turned that point around. There's an audible gasp from the crowd in here after Sabalenka hit the return.
40-13.
She had to be so quick with her feet. I mean, that was a massive return from Sabalenka, and did well to get ready immediately. I like that Sabalenka guessed right on that backhand down the line. 100% that was going down the line, but just was really accurate with that, Mertens. Gosh, got such nice shoulder turn on that backhand side. That's what helps disguise that ball and gives that uncertainty to the opponent of where she might hit the backhand. Another long game.
Oh, she thought she made it as soon as she hit it.
Advantage, Mertens.
It's a good serve, and she's digging in here, Elise Mertens. This is really good to see. Sabalenka at the moment just can't shake her off, but she is still just 2 games from the quarterfinals again.
Love the team.
Just 9 of 26 first serves now that she's made in this set, Sabalenka. And this is now the 3rd service game in this set that she has started from love 30.
Just covering the court a lot better, Mertens. I think anticipating better where Sabalenka is going to hit those shots. And yeah, I think the first serve has really hurt her in the second set, just not getting as many free points.
Brilliant from Mertens. And 3 break points will follow to get back on serve.
That's great movement again off the ground. And just watching her side of the court, she's already moving in the direction as Sabalenka is starting her stroke. So she's reading it a lot better off the Sabalenka racket. Don't mind the play, trying to be aggressive down the line, but just didn't have the depth that she needed. Ended up being an easy shot for Sabalenka.
Yeah, well, this time it's Sabalenka's turn to deal very well with a huge return from Mertens.
30-14.
It's a pretty good job not getting surprised by that big return, just getting ready and handling the pace from that Mertens return. Sabalenka so good at being able to change defense to offense.
0 for 7 break points today, Mertens. I mean, that is a ridiculous second serve.
Break point down, unbelievable.
Juice.
Incredible too, just thinking about that second serve where not having made a lot of the big serves that she's going for, and to make it in that moment, it's so mentally tough.
Let's go.
Just absolutely absurd from Aryna Sabalenka. What a level of tennis she just found there from love 40. And will Elise Mertens get another opportunity in this one?
Sabalenka leads by 5-3, second set.
It's incredible, and she was falling off her on her back foot, and to get that power from that position. And just down, like down the center of the court as well. I mean, Mertens, I felt like wasn't that far off that ball, but that's how much pace it had. It just shot through the court.
Tell you what's amazing, you kind of watch these two serve and you feel as though Aryna Sabalenka's got a way bigger serve, but actually average first serve speed, Elise Mertens is slightly quicker.
Yeah,
I mean, by 0.1 of a mile an hour, by the way, but
their fastest serves aren't much different either. Sabalenka's, her fastest serve has been 116 miles an hour, and Mertens 111, so not too far off of each other.
To the naked eye, it looks like Sabalenka's is huge. Well, she's just got to keep telling herself here, Elise Mertens, that she is by no means out of this match. She has created plenty of chances in the last hour and a half. 8 break points that she's had a look at. Fortunately for her, she just hasn't taken a single one of them.
Second service.
Much more calm on that return, Sabalenka, after missing the previous one.
Let's go.
The two serves that were more off pace were the ones Sabalenka struggled with.
Oh,
yeah. Mertens.
He took out James Kiathabon.
And almost the ball crew.
By 5 games to 4.
Either way, it's an important hole here.
It's a great start on that first serve. Didn't go for a huge serve. That one just 90 miles an hour, but she's so good at that out wide slice. Smart, especially she's been struggling with that first serve percentage in the second set. Yeah, like that play. Just no hesitation right away to take that ball out of the air.
21 winners she's had on the forehand alone today, Sabalenka. 21 of her 40 winners. Well, she's gone from barely making a first serve in the last hour to making 3 in a row.
4-love.
And it gives her 3 match points.
She went for a big swing. Can't blame her. 40-love.
40-15.
Well, for the fourth consecutive year, Aryna Sabalenka is in the US Open quarterfinals. A nice hug between two good friends, of course, former doubles partners. You look at the scoreline, it looks pretty routine, 6-2, 6-4, but in reality, it was anything but. Certainly that second set, Aryna Sabalenka had to find some of her best stuff under pressure there. She doesn't know who she'll be taking on next, but it will either be Donna Vekic or Zheng Qinwen.